Okay, so here's my story. I wanted a smartwatch for a very long time. I backed the Pebble that was supposed to come out. It never did because Fitbit bought them and we know what happened. So I went out and bought a Versa because I was like, this seems like the one for me. And I had it for, I don't know, a week and a half, and I was like, no, I hate it. It wouldn't turn on when I flicked my wrist. I complained to you about it because it was like almost your fault that this happened.
It's not my fault.
Anyway,
it's not my fault.
It's not your fault. Someone on Twitter said, hey, check out this brand from China check it. And it was Amazfit Bip, and I've been wearing it for a month, and I love this watch because it just does what I want it to do. It's always on. It's got an e-ink display. It was like $79. The battery lasts for, you know, a month, and then I change the watch face around and I get at least 2 weeks out of it. And it just gives me like very basic notifications, and that's really all I want out of a smartwatch.
Well, you know what is my fault? My fault is that I did not look at the Amazfit Bip sooner, right. And you pushed me to finally review it. It had this kind of surprise US launch, and it became available. It's been a cult hit where a lot of people are buying this.
Like 5 million people have bought this worldwide.
And this watch, I looked at Amazfit, the company, the part of Xiaomi. They're basically taking what the Pebble did and doing it more like the Pebble than what Fitbit did.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Fitbit bought Pebble. But I'd say that Fitbit tried to make it much more like the Apple Watch and really pursued trying to make this thing have a nice design and flashy features, which is fine, but this is much more utilitarian.
Totally.
And this focuses on things like they're always on screen, super long battery, like I've got 2 weeks of battery life, no problem with this. And it does everything just fine and is low key, and for a lot of people that don't want to worry about a smartwatch.
Good enough.
Yeah, it takes away all the annoying things. I'd still say it doesn't really address some of the stuff like it takes a little bit of time to connect to the watch. It kind of goes to sleep after a while. And I still like the Fitbit app if you want to do fitness. I feel like it's much better for finding communities and tracking. The MeFit app is like you're kind of on your own.
It's not the best.
No, it's bare bones and a little weird, but if you want to just track steps, you want to just track things like step sleep and not worry much about that, it definitely does that. It even does heart rate. And the real question is, why aren't more watchmakers doing things like the Amazfit Bip?
I don't understand. It's obviously cheaper to make. It's cheaper to sell.
Yeah.
You would imagine people would buy this. You know, look, it's not the perfect watch, but I do like the fact that I was able to customize my own just by doing a little bit of research and you know, using Photoshop to create my own face. That was awesome. I feel like something like this.
Much farther than I would ever go.
I couldn't do that.
But I appreciate it. They already have a couple of good watch
faces.
faces.
It's a decent community, yeah. Like, and you can get what you want this watch to do.
Don't expect a lot, especially with watch faces and apps, because this has a lot more of those.
Yeah.
But again, if you're looking for something that's like a basic digital watch that gets notifications, that you can also curate, which is nice. You can turn on individual ones like Fitbit does. And I just think that more companies, Fitbit, if you're listening, which I'm sure you are, should be focusing on making more affordable watches with always on screens, better battery life, and not worry so much about being the fanciest one, because look, this thing is really easy to use.
Well, I mean, look, it comes down to this. What got me to switch from the Versa to the Bip was being able to tell the time. I just wanted to look at my wrist and not freaking flip it 1,000 times.
I've been super conditioned through smartwatches to start doing that, and I've gotten used to it. You know what? I do appreciate the fact that this is always on. And yeah, it reminds me that you can do it. It's definitely doable. Amazfit's already doing it. So you can get this thing now, but also you can think about maybe a future watch will start incorporating this. Totally. This is the message, just do that. I'm
happy to get rid of the Bip if Fitbit made their version of this.
I want them to come together. That's what I want. I want the Fit and the Bip to fuse into that future product, which we don't really have yet.